Hi guys, today I'm going to share with you 5 tips to enter deep focus. Working or studying when you're fully concentrated, when you're in the flow is amazing. It's really a game changer and it feels like a superpower. And every single one of those tips can completely change the way you work or study. So it's definitely worth staying until the end. Now let's get straight to the first advice. The first tip that I have for you is creating some kind of ritual, like brushing your teeth, drinking a cup of coffee, drinking a tea, drinking a glass of water, stretching, a specific scent from a candle, or wearing a specific shirt, whatever. Look, the human brain loves ritual. That's an anchor in our mind. That's why before going to bed, you all do the same thing every single night, right? You brush your teeth, you take a shower, you maybe do your skincare. That's because the human brain loves ritual. It sends a signal to your brain, all right, I'm brushing my teeth right now. It's time to get sleepy. I'm gonna go to bed. It's the same thing with working. If you have some ritual, again, it can be doing like breathing exercising or stretching exercising, drinking something, whatever. Having a ritual is gonna make it so much easier to enter the flow, to enter deep focus states. Now the next advice is put your phone in a different room. Some people say just put your phone on airplane mode or turn off the notifications, but it's not enough, because if your phone is right next to you, even if it's on airplane mode, you're gonna have the dumb habit that we all have. You're gonna take your phone every 5 minutes to check the notifications, because we all do that. We are all addicted to social media, and those 5 seconds of just you taking your phone, oh, it's on airplane mode, you put it down, those 5 seconds are enough to get you off the zone, to get you outside of that concentration mode, of that focus mode. So by just putting your phone in a different room, you eliminate the temptation. If the phone is not here, you don't even have the temptation, so you don't have the distraction. So of course, put your phone on airplane mode, but also take it to a completely different room. And don't worry, nothing on social media is urgent. No Instagram reel, no YouTube notification is urgent. The next trick is stop music. Some people believe that music is great. It depends on the person, of course, but I would say in general, if you're doing creative work, doesn't matter who you are, creative work requires silence. It requires you to be in a quiet place without music, without anything, right? So if you're doing something creative like editing a video, writing a script, writing something, whatever, turn off the music and you're gonna see that your thoughts are gonna be so clearer, so much sharper, that you will no longer use music when you're working or studying. Of course, I still use music sometimes once in a while when I'm reading my class, when I'm reading my lessons. But if I'm doing something creative, I don't want any music. I want my brain to wander everywhere. You know, I want my brain to think clearly without music. Now, the next advice is to know what you're gonna do. If you don't have a clear goal in mind, you're gonna get lost. Think about yourself driving. If you're on a road and you don't know where you're going, you're gonna get lost, you're gonna get sidetracked, you're gonna get distracted. Whereas if you clearly know the destination, you know where you're going, you're not gonna get distracted and you're gonna end up exactly where you want to be. So it's the same thing with working and studying. You have to be very clear and very precise. I'm going to study exactly that part of that chapter of that subject. I'm going to work on my website, on that specific part of my website. I need to improve it, right? Don't work based off feel, not knowing where you're going. Oh, I'm going to work on this, blah, blah, blah. Then 30 minutes later, I'm going to change. I'm going to work on another thing. It's nonsense. You need to have a clear goal, a clear idea in mind. Now, the last advice is move, exercise in your everyday life, on the day you're working and during your work or study session. That's capital, and in my opinion, that's the most important advice that you really need to remember. Of course, moving in your everyday life, being fit, is going to make you healthier, so it's going to be easier for you to be fully concentrated, to be mindful when you're working or studying. But also, if you exercise on the very day where you need to enter deep focus, it's going to be easier, because when you exercise, you release a bunch of hormones, dopamine, epinephrine, adrenaline. Those hormones make it easier to get in the flow. If you can, first thing in the morning, get like a light jog or working out for only 40 minutes, just doing something, it doesn't need to be that long, or just walking, it's extremely beneficial, because then it's going to be easier again to enter that deep focus state. And I'm also advising you to move, to get some steps in during your working sessions. because you need to clear your mind sometimes, right? If you're working 3 hours non-stop, it's not going to be productive after a certain period of time. So you need to move every so often, get up, get some steps in, move a little bit, do some push-ups maybe. This is going to help you to stay lucid and sharp, mentally sharp during your work. So to recap the whole video, what I'm advising you is to have some kind of ritual, to put your phone on airplane mode and in a different room, to stop the music if you're doing creative work specifically, to know what you're gonna do, so to have a clear goal in mind, and the last advice, the most important one, is to exercise in your everyday life before going into your work or study session and during your session. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do. If you want to support my channel, you can simply subscribe and click the bell button. It's the best way to support me. You can also leave a comment, and I see you next time.